Hi guys, hope you're doing well. And yes, top 10 mistakes that I've made here in Thailand. Varying degrees of mistakes, but it could be useful to some of you who want to live here, planning to live here, or maybe even just coming here as tourists. All these are from actual things that happened to me. They're not sort of made up or just picked out of a guidebook. So yeah, let's start with number one. I'm sure you've all heard the phrase, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Basically, if you cheat on a woman, yeah, watch out. But I would rephrase that. Hell hath no fury like an Asian woman scorned, because Thai women can come across very demure and sensitive and calm and quiet, but you mess about, you got to deal with the consequences, and it can be pretty brutal, and it's never ending. So if you're gonna be a naughty boy or a naughty girl, then just don't get caught. Pointing my foot at something that I wanted in a shop. I was in a building shop, had my hands full. I was going to buy loads of things from this old Chinese family that run a building store in town. I couldn't bend down to point at what I wanted, so I pointed at it with my foot. And in Thailand, the foot is the lowest part of the body spiritually, and considered a bit of a faux pas if you point at anything or anyone with your foot. So I was on the receiving end of quite a tirade from this old Chinese lady. So it caused a bit of a scene, and I think I was in the wrong, but maybe she could have been a bit more understanding that I'm not from Thailand or didn't know much about the Chinese culture. So if you want to avoid those sort of situations, basically, don't point at anything with your foot. Lending money to either friends or relatives, big mistake, done it a few times, usually when I've had a few beers. Lending doesn't mean lend, it means giving away. It can ruin friendships, it can cause tension in family dynamics, and also cause issues with your missus. Because lending, as I said, doesn't really mean lending. So if you don't mind giving money away, that's fine. And I've done that in the past. But if you expect to get it back, don't be surprised if you don't. And that leads us on to the next one, is saving face or losing face all the time. For instance, if you lend someone some money and they don't give it back to you and you get angry, you're actually in the wrong from getting angry. So you've lost face in that actual interaction. So I was very good at this. Fantastic. A world-class world champion at losing face. So if you want to survive and do business here, you need to learn the concept of face. You've got to know how to smile in the most diverse type of interaction or circumstance. Another one that made me go, I'm not doing that again, is buying a European car. It was lovely. It was a little Fiat red thing. My wife loved it. Secondhand, it ran all right for about 6 months, and then ended up costing us a fortune getting all the parts. The mechanics didn't really know what to do with it, especially if you're living outside of the big cities. Buy what the locals buy, your Toyotas, Mitsus, Hondas. Stay away from the European cars if you can, because it ended up costing me a small fortune. Education-wise, I would have sent Annie, my daughter, to a international school or a top-rated education facility down in Bangkok or up in Chiang Mai for high school. Now, a lot of you know that Annie was educated in a rural school here, and I did a lot of homeschooling with her, which I think is fine up until the end of primary school or the beginning of high school. But after that, I think she should have gone to, as I said, a top-rated school in Bangkok, Chiang Mai. So it's something that I feel was a mistake. But as you know, Annie's smart, she's bright, she's studying in Bangkok now in university. But if I could do it all over again, I would probably send it to a decent international school. Next one, asking for extra chilli. This one can happen. You can, get a bit cocky after you've had a few hot Thai meals. You might be with the girl or your boy, and you want to show off a bit. So when the seller says, "Oh, can you eat hot?" or "Kin pet dai mai?" It's like, yes, I can. Kin pet, yeah. Oh, yes, I can eat a lot. I can eat really hot. A big mistake. I've done that a couple of times, and I've ended up literally throwing up outside the restaurant, blowing my brains out one side of my nostril, chewing on cucumber. And it can be embarrassing, because if you do say that, I don't know whether Thais have just got that little mean streak where they go, we'll see what you can handle. But you can find yourself in embarrassing situations. So you've got to watch out for that if you want to see your date again. Yes, a lot of you come here, you want to do some boxing. Big mistake I had was thinking I was actually good at it. I was quite good at the old double jab 1-2, put a few guys down. You're allowed to win a couple of times, but if you get too cocky, you get put up against someone who's going to knock the crap out of you. This happened to a couple of mates of mine here who won a couple of bouts, and then they sent some beast down from Chiang Mai, and they ended up in hospital. And the guy that ran the little gym near here, he was actually in the LA Olympics. And I turned up training one day, and this beautiful girl, his daughter, was there. I'd already knocked down a couple of guys, and he told me to do a couple of rounds with her, which was quite disconcerting. She was beautiful, as I said, and she just basically pummeled the crap out of me. She'd been trained by him. I couldn't land a shot on her. To be honest with you, I didn't really want to hit her hard, but she just jabbed my head off. I came back with a dodgy nose and some problem with my rib. He still sees me in 7-Eleven and gives me a little wave. If you think you're good at boxing or you come in here, just be careful. You will be put up against a beast if you get too good. Right, yes, another one was being whacked by an old granny, an old relative with a stick. She basically would sit in the doorway, and it was my wife's relatives, and it was a very old lady, and she always had this big stick. And I didn't push past her, but I was very close because she was always in the doorway. And I got a big larrup from the stick. And it was a bit of a whack, and I was taken aback by it. I was like, what's going on? And my wife basically said, I was being disrespectful. To be honest with you, I wanted to boot her in the head. I'm from London. But, she explained to me that, the wife explained to me that, you touched it with your feet, and basically, when it's to do with elderly relatives, just to cover yourself, a lot of that, and a lot of respect, and maybe a bit of cash. Another one, not learning Thai earlier. It took me, years and years before I even started really getting to grips with the language. I'm still a bit crap at it now, but if I'd learnt it earlier, it would have prevented a lot of the problems or issues that I've had, that I've actually spoken about. So if you learn the language, you understand the culture. And if you understand the culture, you don't end up, getting slapped by old grannies and all that sort of stuff. So it also gives you a deeper understanding of the culture itself, which is very complex, Thai culture. And as I said in previous videos, it catches a lot of guys out. So by learning the language, you learn a lot of the little idiosyncrasies, the little things that you really only know once the language is kind of in your head, and you can work out what's going on in certain situations. Learn the language, it will make your life so much easier in the long run, believe me. You have a rice whiskey here, which is called Lao Khao. There are two types, you've got the white and the red. If you mix both of them, you can have near-death experiences. I did it while we were building the house here. Knocking back the Lao Khao, the white one, very, very, very nice. Had one shot of the red, and it was brutal. And I was the kind of laughing stock of the builders here, and wife had to carry me home pretty much. So yes, mixing Thai liquor, especially the cheap spirits, stay away from those if possible. Big mistake. All right, so there we go. There might be more than 10. I don't know. I could probably do another 10, but they're the ones I can think off the top of my head. And yes, a lot of it was to do with cultural miscommunication and language miscommunication. So I think the one about the Thai language is probably the most important one. If you can learn that language, the sooner you can, basically, the easier living here will get. Anyway, I hope it was useful, bit of fun. Let me know if you've experienced any of these things yourself. And on that note, I'll stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next video.